you will never grow rich. Not in gold, not in spirit, not in mind, until you master this, yourself, before you chase the world, before you demand success, bow at your feet, before you talk about vision boards, business plans, or generational wealth. You must first face the one truth most refuse to admit. You are the reason you're not where you want to be. Not your father's absence, not the economy, not the algorithm. You, because wealth, true wealth, does not respond to the desperate. It does not answer to the entitled. It answers to the one who has become worthy of it in silence, in sweat, and in self-mastery. You want to grow rich? You want your life to mean something? Then learn to conquer the invisible war within, the war between your higher nature and your lower one, between vision and distraction, between discipline and desire, between truth and the easy lie. Every man is given 2 lives. The second begins when he realizes he must build the first one from within. The seed of your riches is not out there. It is buried beneath your excuses. And the moment you stop blaming, stop whining, stop waiting, is the moment the soil begins to crack open. Every great mind in history mastered this first. Carnegie didn't rise from dirt floor, poverty by hoping. He studied men, he studied thought, he studied himself. Edison didn't invent light by stumbling into genius. He disciplined his failures into something meaningful. He understood what you haven't yet, that riches are not stumbled upon, they are summoned by clarity, by obsession, by relentless internal order. There is a fire in you, but it is misdirected. You burn energy, reacting instead of creating. You rage at the system while refusing to master your own habits. So ask yourself, what is wealth if your mind is still poor? What is success if your spirit is still starving? Most people don't fail because they weren't good enough. They fail because they weren't clear enough. They never decided. They never committed. They never went deep. They bounce from one idea to another like a drunk man chasing shadows. They read books but don't apply. They dream big but don't sacrifice. They talk loud but think small. And all the while, life whispers, you will never grow rich until you master this. The ability to believe in what has not yet appeared. The discipline to build what no one sees but you. The wisdom to stay when everything in you screams to run. The humility to learn what you do not know. This world is full of noise, endless motion, distraction disguised as opportunity. But the wealthy, the truly wealthy, live by a different code. They are still while others are frantic. They are focused while others are scattered. They are decisive while others are paralyzed by fear. They don't worship money. They understand it. They see it not as a god, but as a mirror. Money reflects the order of your inner world. It flows toward those who control their thoughts, their habits, their reactions. Not just those who hustle, but those who move with clarity and conviction. Most are chasing quick riches because they don't trust themselves to build lasting ones. They want speed over substance, visibility over value, validation over victory. But every shortcut you take steals the very thing you're chasing. You want the world to respect you, yet you haven't learned to respect your own morning. You want wealth, yet your schedule is ruled by dopamine, not discipline. Do you not see? You will never grow rich until you can command yourself, command your mind when it drifts, command your body when it aches, command your spirit when it's tempted by comfort. Greatness is not the reward of the gifted. It is the result of those who refuse to betray themselves. There is no freedom without self-control, no abundance without intention, no empire without inner empire first. You think $1 million will make you rich, but a man with $1 million and no control is still poor. He will waste it, destroy it, or worse, become a prisoner to it. But a man with vision, with discipline, with purpose, he can build an empire from nothing, because he is the wealth, he is the source. And the world simply mirrors that back to him. You were not born to follow. You were not born to be average. You were not born to die full of regrets. You were born to build. And before you can build anything on the outside, you must construct the one thing that will never crumble: your character. Character is wealth. Clarity is wealth. Focus is wealth. Vision is wealth. If you have those, you will never truly be broke. Because what you build, you can rebuild. What you create, you can recreate. And what you carry within you, no man, no recession, no failure can take. Riches are not in the numbers. They are in your nature. So change it, sharpen it, master it. Wake up earlier than you feel like. Work longer than they expect. Study harder than you think is necessary. Dream bigger than they think is reasonable. And act with such certainty that doubt dies in your presence. This is not about ego. This is about alignment. Because when your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony, you become a weapon in motion. You are not poor because you lack money. You are poor because you lack structure. Because you have not planted yourself in vision. You have not rooted yourself in purpose. You are chasing instead of creating. Asterisk reacting instead of deciding. Existing instead of becoming. And so I will say it again, not to motivate, but to awaken. Look around you. The world does not reward potential. It rewards proof. Proof of discipline. Proof of mastery. Proof of internal order so powerful, it commands results from chaos. You say you want wealth, but can you sit alone with your thoughts and not drown in distraction? You say you want success, but can you delay gratification for years without applause, without recognition, without results, and still keep going? That is the test. That is the gate. That is the furnace where the weak melt and the great emerge. Because most people are not stopped by failure. They are stopped by boredom, by repetition, by the silence of discipline. They confuse activity with progress. They chase novelty and call it growth. But understand this: wealth is not a product of intensity. It is the result of consistency. Ford didn't become Ford overnight. He was laughed at, ignored, even called insane for believing in mass producing machines no one asked for. But he saw what others couldn't. He lived inside a vision that outlasted every obstacle. Lincoln was defeated in 8 elections before becoming president. He lost businesses. He lost loved ones. But he mastered his mind. He mastered sorrow. He mastered the art of standing still in the storm, and that is what made him immortal. So you with your dreams, your hunger, your gifts, what are you waiting for? A sign, a guarantee, a perfect plan. The wealthy don't wait. They build the sign. They become the guarantee. They craft the plan in blood, sweat, and fire. You must stop outsourcing your power. Stop blaming. Stop scrolling. Stop waiting to feel ready. There is no savior coming. There is no perfect mentor. There is no course that will unlock you. Only you can do that. And here's the secret most never learn. The day you begin mastering yourself, the world begins to bend in your favor. You speak with a sharper voice. You move with heavier footsteps. You radiate something the masses cannot imitate. Command, not of others, but of yourself. You see, the truly rich don't just have money. They have momentum. And momentum is earned through clarity. The ability to know exactly who you are, what you want, and where you're going. While others chase opportunity, they chase alignment. While others copy tactics, they sharpen identity. And here is where Gibran speaks through time. Your living is determined not so much by what life brings to you as by the attitude you bring to life. Do you hear that? It means the world reflects you, not the other way around. And until your mind reflects discipline, until your soul reflects conviction, until your habits reflect purpose, you will not attract the wealth you seek. Let me say this as clearly as I can. You do not need motivation. You need alignment. Motivation is seasonal. Alignment is eternal. Motivation fades. alignment builds. Because when you are aligned with your purpose, with your values, with your mission, you stop needing permission. You stop second-guessing. You stop explaining. You move, and when you move from that place, not even the gates of hell can hold back your rise. But this comes at a cost. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged. You will lose people. You will be called obsessed, arrogant, unrealistic. Good. Let them talk. Let them question. Because while they waste breath, you build legacy. You build wealth, not just in dollars, but in discipline. Not just in status, but in soul. Not just in what you own, but in who you've become. Asterisk, that's the richness no one can take. The inner empire. The quiet dominance. The unshakable foundation, forged from fire and solitude. So if you're listening to this, hoping for a step-by-step blueprint, you've missed the point. This is not about steps. It's about standards. It's about the man or woman you become when no one is watching. It's about refusing to betray yourself in the smallest moments. Because those moments are everything. Success is not earned in public. It is revealed in public, but it is earned. Alone. Earned when you get up at 4:30 a.m. and go. Earned when you say no to distraction and yes to destiny. Earned when you train your mind like a soldier, your heart like a poet, and your hands like a warrior. That is mastery. That is alignment. And that is how you grow rich. Music swells, tone intensifies, slightly sharp, rhythmic pacing, now rich. Not just in bank accounts, but in presence, in energy, in direction. Because the man who knows where he's going cannot be stopped. Not by fear, not by failure, not by famine. He's already conquered the only battlefield that matters, the one within. And so I say again, not to preach, but to awaken the divine fire that lives inside you. You will never grow rich until you master this. Your discipline, your mindset, your daily habits, your ability to endure long enough for the world to catch up to what you've always known in your soul. You are not here to wait. You are not here to wish. You are here to rise. You are here to rise. Not once, not twice, but daily, relentlessly. Like the sun, no matter how dark the world feels, you rise. Not for applause, not for status, but because it is who you are becoming. Because you are building a life that echoes through generations. And let me tell you something Gibran would whisper to your soul if he stood before you now. The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold, but lets his soul remain poor. You must not trade your essence for vanity. You must not confuse achievement with alignment. Riches mean nothing if your spirit is still broke. So stop chasing the appearance of wealth, and start becoming the source of it. Become the man who commands rooms with silence, the woman who leads not with noise, but with clarity. The soul that knows it is rich, long before the world agrees. Self-mastery is the foundation. Everything else is decoration. Because when storms come, and they will, it is not your bank account that will save you. It is your preparation. It is your philosophy. It is the work you did when no one was watching. You think you need more time. You don't. You need more focus. You think you need more motivation. You don't. You need deeper purpose. You think you need better luck. No. You need better standards. Wealth follows the one who stops negotiating with weakness, who wakes up and says, "This is who I am. This is what I do." And nothing, no excuse, no mood, no fear, will move me. Do you know what real poverty is? It's not empty pockets. It's a full schedule without direction, a full stomach without gratitude, a full life without meaning. You can be surrounded by things and still be starving inside, and yet the opposite is also true. You can have nothing, and if your mind is strong, if your spirit is sharp, if your vision is alive, you are already rich. Because wealth is first an identity. It is a way of standing, a way of walking, a way of thinking, It is the courage to bet on yourself. Day after day after day, without proof, without comfort, without shortcuts. This is the path, not the loud one, not the crowded one, but the path of those who choose truth over trend, legacy over likes, peace over noise. It is not a path for the faint of heart, but if you choose it, fully, completely, it will transform you. It will strip away every illusion, every excuse, every false layer of identity. It will confront your laziness. It will burn your ego. And in that fire, something divine will rise, something unstoppable, unshakable, undeniable. You will no longer ask, "Can I become rich?" You will know, "I already am. The world is simply catching up." You must train for this, not once, but daily, like a warrior sharpens his blade, like a monk polishes his soul, like an architect studies every line before he lays a brick. Because self-mastery is not a one-time decision. It is a lifetime commitment. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing riches and start mastering yourself, they begin chasing you. Why? Because the world bows to the man who has already bowed to his own purpose. Because money flows to the one who no longer needs it to define him. You become magnetic, focused, feared by the average, respected by the powerful, not because you screamed louder, but because you built in silence and became something they can't copy. Let them mock you now. Let them doubt you. Let them say, "You've changed." Yes, you have. Because staying the same would have cost you everything. You changed your habits. You changed your circle. You changed the way you walk, the way you work, the way you see the world. You stopped reacting and started ruling. And that shift in posture, that shift in presence, that is where the real wealth begins. Not in the numbers, not in the deals, but in the man or woman you become to build it. So, if you feel tired, if you feel unseen, if you feel like it's all taking too long, good. That means you're on the right road, because growth doesn't always feel like victory. It feels like solitude, like resistance, like silence. But in that silence, something sacred is growing, and I promise you, when the time is right, when you have earned your own respect, when you can look in the mirror and say, "I kept going, even when no one believed," the world will rise to meet you. Music rises, almost orchestral now, climax building. You will never grow rich until you wake up and build before the world tells you who to be, until you sacrifice comfort for clarity, until you stop talking about potential and start walking in purpose. And so the call is simple. Master your mind, master your habits, master your emotions, master your time, because when you master you, the world follows. And that is how you grow rich. You came here for wealth, but wealth is not money. It is power over yourself. It is the fire in your eyes when the world turns cold. It is the silence you hold when others speak noise. It is the way your feet move forward, even when your heart is heavy, because you've learned the truth most will never face. If you can't lead yourself, you will never lead your life. They will call you mad for walking away from comfort, for choosing discipline over pleasure, for turning down the easy path. But let them laugh. Let them doubt. Because one day, when they're still complaining, still waiting, still hoping, you will be living the life you built, not the one you inherited, not the one you were given, but the one you claimed through sacrifice. The world you want already exists, but it is locked behind the person you refuse to become. So become that person. Do not delay. Do not apologize. Do not shrink. Because the longer you wait to master yourself, the longer the life you were born for stays buried beneath excuses. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your doubts, your rejections, or your failures. You are potential in motion. You are fire, learning how to burn clean. You are light, learning how to shine in direction, not chaos. And the moment you choose to take full command of yourself, you become unstoppable. You must move different. You must breathe with intention. You must think like a king, speak like a servant, act like a warrior, and love like a poet. You must carry the quiet force of a soul on fire. Because when your soul is aligned, money will follow, people will follow, legacy will follow. But none of it begins without you. So wake up, rise up, clean your mind, discipline your body, sharpen your purpose, get clear on who you are, get precise on where you're going. Because life does not wait for the uncertain, and riches, they do not flow to the lost. They flow to the builder, to the believer, to the one who has died to weakness and come alive. In truth, that truth is this: you will never grow rich until you master this. Your mind, your focus, your time, your pain, your greatness, yourself. Music begins to fade into gentle, soul-stirring resolution, final words echoing like prophecy. So go now, not to chase wealth, but to become it. To become the man the world cannot ignore. To become the woman who needs no permission. To become the soul who no longer begs for life, but commands it. Because when you master yourself completely, fearlessly, endlessly, the riches of the world will kneel at your feet, and no one will be able to say they gave it to you, because you will know you earned every inch.